At this time, I would like to yield to the distinguished rank member, Mr. Mfume, for any opening statement he'd like to make. And I'm delighted that you're here, and good morning. We made a determination, as I told our witnesses yesterday, that Mr. Mfume and your side, the Democratic Party, intends to forthrightly address this issue, come up with real answers, and we're going to work together on this. The gentleman's recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for your remarks also. And, you know, working together is something that we on this side of the aisle look forward to, particularly when we are able to discern, as we have been, a great deal of problems with the Department of Defense in this case. But thank you. I want to say good morning to you and to our witnesses and to everyone else who's here in the meeting room, as well as my colleagues who've taken time to be here today. All of this comes against a backdrop of 7 straight failed audits by the Department of Defense, which is really hard to fathom. Some of you may be hearing this for the first time, but 7 straight audits deserves an exclamation point behind it, because when we're dealing with the largest appropriation within our nation's budget, we deserve to be served correctly. Oversight of the public purse, it really is not a partisan talking point. It is indeed a constitutional promise that we make to every taxpayer and to every service member who wears the uniform. No federal agency, as I indicated, spends more on contracts than the Department of Defense. In fiscal year 2023, it obligated roughly $456 billion, well over half of all contract dollars, and the current continuing resolution boosts defense discretionary spending to $892 billion. It's kind of hard to get your arms around a number like that, but that is the case, $892 billion. When a balance sheet is obviously that large, even a 1% error drains nearly $9 billion from our troops, our readiness, and our modernization. Yet the Government Accounting Office still places DOD's business system on a fraud risk management of, as the chairman said earlier, a high-risk list, confirming that at least $10 billion in fraudulent payments have gone out since 2017, and then further warning us that the full extent is far higher than that. GAO's message is really rather blunt. Until senior leadership sustains a commitment to every defense dollar, all defense dollars remain at risk. The leadership gap should concern this committee, contracting officers across the services, and others. Because although there are many that do heroic work, they need clear direction from the top. And right now, that is not where they are essentially getting it. Congress must therefore hold DOD and all of its contractors accountable when fraud erodes readiness, when it squeezes small businesses, and when it undermines the public trust. Disturbingly, the Trump administration has moved us in the wrong direction on this matter, because within days of taking office, it fired the DOD Inspector General, the department's chief watchdog, and has since proposed rolling back key acquisition safeguards. You know, speed has its virtues. I don't deny that. But dismantling guardrails and silencing oversight is not efficiency. It is an engraved invitation to fraud. And so as we look at DOD's progress today, I think that our focus ought to be threefold. Number one, drive leadership commitment through every aspect of the agency. Fraud risk management cannot be relegated to the back office. Secretary Hegseth and several secretaries who serve with him must own it, resource it, and insist on measurable results. Number two, modernize the prevention tools. GAO has found that DOD still lacks the real-time analytics needed to expose phantom vendors and collusive bidding. So data must be able to talk to data before the money walks out of the door. I'm not suggesting that's how you fail 7 straight audits, but it's certainly not the way that you pass them. Number 3, enforce accountability with consequences. When fraud occurs, suspension, disbarment, and criminal action must be swift, public, and proportional. Anything less rewards the bad actors and punishes all the honest ones. Colleagues, today every fraudulent invoice paid is a weapons system delayed, a housing unit deferred, or a veterans clinic understaffed. When we achieve and maintain the strongest military on earth, we have a clear obligation to make sure that every defense dollar works as hard as it possibly can for the men and women it is meant to serve. So I look forward to the testimony of our witnesses. I look forward to working with Chairman Sessions and my other colleagues on both sides of the aisle here to try to find a way, how do we translate all of their insights into some sort of concrete reform, because reform is clearly needed. With genuine leadership commitment and a vigilant congressional oversight ongoing effort, I think we can safeguard, or eventually we'll be able to safeguard, procurement, protect the taxpayer's investment, and then, of course, strengthen our national defense. Without it, we do a disservice to the American taxpayer. Without it, we do a disservice to the men and women who put on a uniform. And without it, we give up the obligation that we have to make sure that waste, fraud, abuse, breaking the law, finding ways to skirt the process, and then ultimately making a profit off the system, that will be with us forever if we do not act and act swiftly. So I want to yield back and again thank the chairman. I want to thank the members present and all those who are here out of a genuine concern to find a way to straighten out what has been a very nasty, ugly problem affecting our Department of Defense. I yield back.
Mr. Mfume, thank you very much, and not just for your conversation, but remembering and seeing as you look up today. We have many young students that are here for a summer to learn not just about what might be democracy and the role of Congress, but also to understand that Congress, too, has not just a role to play, but an important role to play. And it's my hope that they see that we have two people, not just Republicans and Democrats, but two people who are equally committed to the needs to make sure that their future is brighter and better also, because they, while they may be voters now, they soon will be taking our place and want to tell the story about their future. And it does reside around the national security issues of the United States military. And I want to thank you very, very much.